church.
Sometimes I get stoned in my backyard, lay off in the tall grass so my view is the stars. I think about nothing, get to clear my thoughts from all the thunder and lightning, so I feel a spark. Sometimes I get higher than the Colorado Rockies, hoping that the county sheriff don't stop me. Now Charlie Daniels said you shouldn't smoke at dough, but damn it, I can't help, I love Rolling Stone. With the windows rolled down and the radio up, sweet tea full in my solo cup, listening to the humming of the 44, sounding like a concert. I'm a beat up door, arm hanging out the window, smiling away, smoking on some ground where the cattle graze. Charlie Daniels said you shouldn't go smoke at dough. Hell, I can't help, I love Rolling Stone. Yeah, I love Rolling Stone. Smoke rolling round the cab with the dome light on, looking like a stage for a Leonard Skinner song. Hanging out with Mary Jane, but she's making the time go slow. Making memories with my buddies through the thick green smoke, puff passing out the windows of my old Tahoe. Lifted so damn high I can't come down, driving under the speed limit in my town. With the windows rolled down and the radio up, sweet tea full in my solo cup, listening to the humming of the 44, sounding like a concert. I'm a beat up door, arm hanging out the window, smiling away, smoking on some ground where the cattle graze. Charlie Daniels said you shouldn't go smoke at dough. Hell, I can't help, I love Rolling Stone. Yeah, I love Rolling Stone. There ain't nothing like the swaying of a windy back road, baked out like a barn full of tobacco. I know Jesus drank wine, but I bet he wouldn't mind sitting with me in my Chevy, passing around a few times. With the windows rolled down, the radio up, sweet tea full in our solo cups, listening to the humming of the 44s, like a concert out my beat up door. Arm hanging out the window, smiling away, smoking on some ground where the cattle graze. Oh, Willie said there's not nothing wrong with smoking dough. So light one up and let's go Rolling Stone. So pass me that and let's start Rolling Stone.
All right. Let me turn this off here. It's already off. How's everyone doing? Man. There we go. How's everyone doing this morning? Break time with Osada. Tommy's in a meeting. He teaches having a coffee break. Sweet Tea's getting on a plane. Magooch is on the beach. Non-fat yogurt, it's break time. Does non-fat yogurt really work? I mean, what is non-fat yogurt? I fell for that nonsense at one point too. I mean, what is it? What is that really beneficial like they say? Or are we just putting in a bunch of slop in our mouth? Hold on one sec, guys. sorry. My daughter got a new job. So she's got a regular Monday through Friday schedule now. And I don't have to pick up my granddaughter, which is not a good thing. So I'm still going to pick her up anyways. But then I got told today that I can't pick her up because my ex is picking her up for some reason. And that I can pick her up tomorrow if I want to. Which I'm going to. Sorry, I'm hooking up this thing on my back. My TENS unit. My back's all knotted up from making cheesecakes and banoffee pies and strawberries and fucking salsa and everything else. It is not beneficial. I don't know if it is or isn't. It's a healthy filter, better than Taylor ham and cheese. True. We're about to get hit with some heavy holy water. Some heavy holy water. Are you guys going to get rain over there? Excuse me. The salsa looked incredible. It's like my third time making it. Excuse me. I'm going to put, I heard that it takes a while for everything to marinate. You know, you got to give the ingredients time. I don't know how much time. Hours, days for everything to marinate. What are my ingredients? Well, my ex sent me a recipe that she says everybody loves that she makes. And then I just kind of altered it a little bit. I used 6 tomatoes, 3 jalapenos, 2 tomatillos, a whole clove of garlic, about 3/4 of a white onion, pretty decent sized onion. That big can of Italian tomatoes, a small can of fire roasted diced tomatoes, salt, pepper, cumin, and lime juice, cilantro. Trying to think. I think that's it. That's what I used right there. Isn't it nice to get along with my ex? Yeah, I get along with one of them, not both of them. But yeah, it is. Red onion for color. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. You know, it was funny because I went to the store to go buy salsa ingredients, and there was literally in the produce section, they had the Roma tomatoes, they had the onion, the jalapeno, the tomatillos. Everything was right there that I needed. I was like, damn, they knew I was coming. So I just got the white onion. I guess I could try a red onion. But, you know, it's pretty bland. I mean, it's a good salsa. You can tell it's freshly made. My goal is to make like a really thick, spicy pineapple, mango, habanero, something like that. You know, it's got to be and the reason why I want to do it is because at the farmer's market, there's like a few things that get all the business. In the morning, it's because it opens at 9, the coffee truck, the donut shop, and believe it or not, and the fresh fruit, people come there for strawberries and blackberries and stuff like that. And chips and salsa. I see people that come there specifically for chips and salsa. So the fuck, you got multiples? You got multiples? You are the problem of what? Multiples of what? Oh, of my ex. Yeah, well, that's why I'm single. Never been married, though. Talking ex-girlfriends, ex-babies' mamas. You know, I was the problem in the first relationship. You could say that, but I mean, you know, we were just different people. And if you look now at her, you know, and you know, I have nothing bad to say about her. She still stresses me out to this day. She's, you know, she's a great person, but you get me around her and I just get stressed out immediately. So I think that had a lot to do with it. Only lasting 7 years or 8 years or however long we were together. All my exes float at the bottom of Jamaica Bay. Damn. That must be in a song. My one ex is toxic. This one's good. She's the only reason she stresses me out is because she just takes on too much, and she's very pushy. She asks a lot of questions. You know, it's just everything. All my exes live in Texas. She stresses you out too, sweet tea. I have nothing bad to say about her. She just stresses me out. I mean, that's true. Now, my other one, I don't even want to talk about the other one. You know, how did we get on the subject of my ex, anyways? I can't remember. Why are we talking about my ex? Probably about the salsa. I don't remember. My brain is scattered this morning. I can only stay on for a little while. I'm going to the admin building this morning. We have a heat wave. Well, for us, it's a heat wave. 90 today, 91 tomorrow. Yuck. I wish it would be 90 at the farmer's market, so I could sell some lemonade and snow cones for a change. But it's going to be 90 today and tomorrow, and then it'll be 70 and cloudy all day at the farmer's market, which I'm not complaining because I don't want it to be 90 for more than a couple days. But yes, going to sell today. You're having a tropical heat wave. Joe Della, good morning. So yeah, no picking up my granddaughter today. I'm gonna get her tomorrow. I wanted to get her today, but she's excited because Spirit Halloween store is opening up, and she's really excited about that. I think July 30th. They said you can check the website to see their official opening date, but it's the first week of August. So, a couple weeks. No, those are lyrics. Keep up, Osada. We're having a heat wave, a tropical heat wave. Picking up your granddaughter. Where's the song lyrics? She stresses me out. I have nothing bad to say about her. She stresses me out. Osada, I brought up the subject. No, those are lyrics. I'm not sure which ones were the lyrics. Must be this one right here. We're having a heat wave. Is that Linda Ronstadt? There's no way I'm keeping up this morning. Tropical heat wave is a song. Really? Who sings this? Tropical heat wave song by Ethel Waters. We're having a heat wave, a tropical heat wave. The temperature's rising. It isn't surprising. She certainly can. She started the heat wave by letting her seat wave. What? Huh. Yep, never heard of it. Interesting. You learn something new every day on here, right? I have 3 topics in my show description. I forgot. I forgot what they were. Let's look. I'm gonna turn down my volume here. It says 400 kids and a cop, a karaoke song by Theendu. That's all one. ReUnited States of YouTube. Yes. The ReUnited States of YouTube. Linda Ronstadt sang Heat Wave, which was different. Osada, you want to get your granddaughter? I'm trying to get rid of my grandsons. They're wearing me. I want to get my granddaughter, and you're trying to get rid of your grandsons. Well, I hear you, Joe. I mean, one takes all your energy. I could imagine, a few boys, man. Same thing. Like, it's time to go. It's time to go, grandsons. Where's your mom and dad at? Yep. So Tommy and Theendu had a reunion on Theendu show, which was great. So I know we're all happy about that. The other title description was because Theendu thought that, I never even heard of that song either. Four hungry kids and a crop. When he said 400 kids and a cop, I already knew it was crop. I just had a feeling, but I had never heard that song before, which is hilarious. It's funny that, everyone knows what people are thinking, because of YouTube. Even like the mistakes you make in song lyrics. It's hilarious. Let's get into it. What do we got? I don't have a whole lot going on. Libs of TikTok.
We have some breaking news. This is Fort Bend County, Texas, just outside of Houston. The Texas Department of Public Safety is reporting a small plane has crashed on the top of a house earlier this morning. Well, you can see it there on your screen. So brand new video into Fox. The plane was reportedly trying to land at an airstrip nearby before it ended up in that house. The pilot was taken to a local hospital with minor injuries. Look at that. What a miracle. It's unclear if anyone was inside the home at the time that this happened. We'll update you as we learn more, but it looks like a miracle. We have some breaking news. This is Fort Bend County, Texas, just outside of Houston. The Texas Department of...
You don't see that every day. $92,432. I'm decent with song lyrics. The hardest one is Staying Alive. Anyone can sing along to that song, have superpowers. Well, that one and Blinded by the Light. Wrapped Up Like a Deuce, Another Runner in the Night. She Got Down. That one is freaking impossible too. But Staying Alive, I never thought about that. Staying Alive. Blinded by the Light is simple. Come up here and sing it. Hold on.
Blinded by the light, wrapped up like a douche, another runner in the night. Blinded by by the light, wrapped up like a douche, another runner in the night, blinded by the light, wrapped up like a douche.
Come up here and sing it, Tommy.
Madman drummers, bummers, Indians in the summer with the teenage diplomat. In the dumps with the mumps as the adolescent bumps his way into his hair. With a bowler on my shoulder, feeling kind of older, I trip the merry-go-round. With his very unpleasing sneezing and wheezing, the calliope crashed to the ground. Wrapped up like a douche under the runner in the night, blinded by the light. Wrapped up like a douche under the runner in the night, blinded by the light. Wrapped up like a douche under the runner in the night, blinded by the light.
I mean, what a great song it is.
Some silicone sister with a manager, mister, told me I got what it takes. She said I'll turn you on, son, into something.
I'll probably get copyrighted. You know, it wasn't until I was watching Yo Gabba Gabba, and they had when my youngest was a baby, it was like this kid show. It's called Yo Gabba Gabba, and they had Weird Al Yankovic on there, and he was playing a calliope. And in the song, it goes, "Let the calliope crash to the ground." And I'm like, that's what they're fucking talking about. And then in this video, it shows the calliope. That's what this is a calliope. Fuck yeah, that's a great tune. I didn't know Bruce Springsteen wrote that. I didn't either. Blinded by the Light. My dad calls that a 7-Eleven song. The same 7 words repeated 11 times. Yeah, that's true. There is a lot of the same words in there. But I think that's because those are the only words we pick up on. None of us know any of the other words. There's a lot of other words in that song, but they just go one in one ear and out the other because they don't register what they mean. I mean, that's just my take on it. Mumps with the bumps. And I know he's talking about, I think it's his high school baseball team were the Indians. And, you know, if you listen to it, if you look up the meaning to the lyrics, I know that's part of it. It's a great song, though. So anyway, we just can get so sidetracked, you know. Tommy makes one off-the-wall comment. And then, 10 minutes later, here we are. I can stay on until about 8 o'clock, 8:30 at the latest. 8:30. I'm already done with everything. Let's see here.
An airsoft rifle and proceeds to brandish it, and he appears to fire several pellets from the airsoft rifle. Next, he pulls out an orange bucket from his cart and runs towards the bushes along the building line. He dumps the contents of the bucket, an incendiary liquid, between 2 sets of bushes along the perimeter of this property and ignites a fire. Federal agents and officers then run up to the subject, subdue him, and take him into federal custody. On the scene was recovered, among other things, 2 airsoft rifles and the container with the flammable liquid. Also affixed to the suspect's cart was a sign reading "Ice off our streets." During the incident, the suspect was wearing a military-style helmet, out an airsoft rifle, and proceeds.
So where was this at? New York City. Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch. Have you ever seen a more crooked-looking bunch of people right there? I mean, there's some dirty motherfuckers in there. You could tell she's a lying bitch. Both of those ladies. She's not only lying through her neck. I mean, she's not only lying through her teeth. She's lying through her neck too. 1, 2, 3, 4. She's got more chins than, what was that song in Chinese phone book? Chin, 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 chin. I remember when I was golfing one time in Federal Way, North Shore Golf Course, and it was the party of Kim. On the tee box is the Kim party of 4. On deck is the Kim party of 4, and in the hole is the Kim party of 4. I swear to God, that is exactly what they said. The Kim party of 4, the Kim party of 4, the Kim party of 4, because they'll announce who's getting ready to tee off, who's next, and who's next after that. And it was 4 Koreans, 4 Koreans, 4 Koreans. That is a true story. The Kim party of 4 story. Oh my God. 3 fucking times in a row. And, if you've ever golfed with Koreans, I mean, they're fun to golf with, actually. Very respectful. They, they respect the game. And a lot of them are really good. They dress phenomenal. They are the best dressers on the golf course. Koreans, at least here in Washington State. But anyway, I don't know how we went from Koreans playing golf to the chins. It was the chins. I don't know how. My brain is fucked up, man. I am a fucked up individual. Drive-by in North Arlington, New Jersey. There was a drive-by. Osada, no, she's actually a pretty good police commissioner. Sorry, hey teacher. You think she's a good police commissioner? I don't really know who she is, so I'm just going based on my spider senses, my spidey senses. Oh God, Stiggs, you hear it's pouring? We're going to have floods. Sweet tea. I can't even read this one. Are you traveling abroad or within the United States? Meeting time. Ciao for now. Tommy's always in meetings. Hey, Osada, Kim party of 4. Yes, that is a true story. The Kim party of 4. I haven't played golf in a long time. I mean, I've practiced a few times in the last few years, but haven't actually played golf in a while. So, New York Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch provided details on the suspect accused of attempting to ignite an incendiary device near a federal building.
You deserve everything coming your fucking way, you evil fucking Nazis! You soulless white supremacists! Fuck you! Fuck you! I'll fucking curse on all of your fucking families! I hope you rot miserably fucking alone! I hope the images of his 3-year-old fucking daughter watching her fucking father bleed out on the sidewalk haunt your fucking nightmares, you fools! You disgusting disgrace! You traitors to this fucking country! You're traitors to humanity! I fucking hate you! I hope you fucking suffer, bitch! I hope you fucking suffer! I hope you suffer the same fate of these people that are being murdered in the street! Fuck you! I hope they get you, bitch! I hope they fucking get you! Fuck you! God, I hate them! I fucking hate them so fucking much! I hate them so fucking much! Oh my
She looks like Laura Loomer. You know, when I look at people like this, it's hard to tell who she's yelling at. ICE, maybe. For all we know, she could be yelling at a brick wall. Because I really feel like this is just, you know, it's propaganda. And, you know, they roll out people like Chud the Builder and Jake Lang and Nick Shirley and all these people to incite violence in one way or another, believe it or not. They all are cut from the same cloth. And when that doesn't work, then they got to roll out the next phase, which are these people. This is just these are a whole nother class of people here, you know. These people are truly dangerous, you know. I don't know about you guys, but I didn't grow up with anybody like this around here, and we're a melting pot around here. You know, this is just you know, when we say that everything's been hijacked, religion, education, the political system, social media, everything has been hijacked. You know, an example of social media is Candace Owens. You try to speak out against the official narrative and try to tell the truth, they will attack you relentlessly. They just won't slander you. They'll sue you. She's been sued multiple times. She's been sued by Brigitte Macron, the First Lady of France, First Man of France. She's currently being sued by, that still might be ongoing. That was a $50 million lawsuit. $50 million. Now she's being sued by Brian Harple, one of the security guys on the Charlie Kirk team. And I'm sure there's others too. So, you know. These people are crazy, man. Absolutely nuts. The First Man of France. Yes. Let me turn down my volume here. Oh, that's just the notifications. So again, you know, this is why none of us should be out there. Well, I only speak for myself. That's why you'll never see me out there protesting, because, you know, there's nothing good that's ever going to come from protesting. You know, you just put you know, if you go out there, you're just going to end up being the useful idiot. You know, you're going to be collateral damage, cannon fodder. You know, it's just crazy to see these people. You know, she is just full of rage. And it's just, is this coming from her soul, or is this coming from, you know, being paid?
Fucking suffer, bitch! I hope you fucking suffer! I hope you suffer the same fate of these people that are being murdered in this.
So either way, it's a problem in this country. You know, for us normal Americans, it's a problem. You know, either way is the truth. Whether she's a paid propagandist or she's talking from her heart and soul. You know, either way, it's a problem. You know, because I know for me personally, I don't want anything to do with that bullshit between, you know, Israel and Palestine and whatever. I think it is it's already been so, you know, bought and sold and paid for that it's not even, you know, it's just a narrative that they're spinning on us for their agenda. You know, at this point, I really don't believe that there's, you know, people being actively bombed. And I mean, it's just, I wish these people would just go away, but I don't think they're going to. You know, their goal is to draw us in, you know, and there's a cutoff line for people like us, our age. I don't really think they care too much. They want to shut us up, but they're trying to recruit the younger people, our younger kids, you know, the younger generation. That's who they're going after. So anyway, we'll move on. Let me catch up in the chat. Yes, he's going to visit my mom. who they have been divorced 30 years, but she is not well health-wise. He's a good man. Yeah, that is awesome. That, he still cares enough to go. I grew up in Queens County, New York City. We weren't exposed to diversity. We were raised inside it.
I'm looking at my son who's 24 years old.
Hold on, guys.
Justin's the CFO, chief financial officer.
Shut up, Rob McCoy. We're not ready to put your bitch ass back down on the bottom of the page. We'll get to you in a minute. So anyway, hold on one sec. I got to turn off my TENS unit. I grew up in Queens. We weren't exposed to diversity. We were raised inside it. There's a difference. Yeah, no, I totally agree. I feel the same way. I was raised inside of it too. I definitely, of all people, was raised inside of it because my stepdad was Japanese, and he was born inside of the Japanese internment camp, which was the Puyallup Fair. They turned it into a Japanese internment camp, and then they turned it back into a fair, which it is still today, a state fair. So I grew up with that. And the high school that I went to was Black, Asian, Samoan, and white. I mean, we had everything. We have a lot of Asian people here in Tacoma, a lot of Black. We have a lot of everybody here, So, yeah, there is a big difference, and you can tell, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to, be proud of your heritage and stuff like that. It's just weird because, America, there's so many moving parts. It's just like a human body, It's like there's this illusion that your body is one thing, but in reality, it's, trillions of cells and bacteria and all this kind of stuff. At least they say it is. Same thing with America. It's one country, but it has 50 states and then how many counties, and within each county, there's how many ethnic groups, and each ethnic group is doing what. And, there's funnels of money that are being sent back to countries. And, it's a very complex country we have here. Sorry, guys. I'm going to kind of, Bill C's here. Hello, Bill. I'm just going to skip all the inside chats. My voice is. All right. What else do we got? Rob McCoy. We're going to, I know some people get sick and tired of the Charlie Kirk thing. And I was thinking about this morning. My gosh, we're going on. September 10th will be a year. How long can you beat a dead horse? But at the same time, they want us to forget. They want us to go back to whatever we were doing before, watching Netflix and, Paramount Plus and Hulu and ABC and all that, Nickelodeon, whatever the fuck we watch. Do anything but pay attention to that case, but we're going to keep paying attention to it. Rob McCoy, this was shortly after Charlie was killed. This was in October. So this is a month after Charlie Kirk was killed. This is Mikey McCoy's dad. Mikey McCoy, of course, is the dude who's standing there, watches his friend get killed, casually puts the phone to his ear. The microsecond that Charlie is killed, boom, he puts the phone to his ear. He doesn't dial or anything. He just puts the phone to his ear like he's talking to somebody, and he walks. He turns and walks away. He does not run like he's scared of maybe someone else getting shot. Nope, Charlie's killed. He just puts the phone to his ear and just casually walks off into the sunset. And that is stone cold what happened with Mikey McCoy. And it's on video. This is his dad explaining what happened with his son. It's not quite the same story.
I'm looking at my son who's 24 years old. Justin's the CFO, chief financial officer, and Mikey's the chief of staff. And I'm watching the minute Charlie was shot, he called me, says, "Dad, Charlie's been shot in the neck. Please call every pastor and pray." I said, okay, son. He has wits about him. He was just directing. He had blood all over him, and
Mikey's still there, phone in his hand, texting, talking. And then he puts his phone away. There's the guy that Charlie's arguing with. Hunter Kozak is his name. What you're about to see is the tragic moments, but also you got to watch right where I've been showing you Mikey is to see exactly what he is doing. He seems to see Charlie get hit and simply walks away. You're going to see him pop up on the other side of the tent in a second. And again, not running like everybody, just walking. This could be shock, but again, you'd think there'd be some kind of panic and he'd be sprinting, but you're just seeing him walk away. Very weird. And it almost seems like maybe he's on the phone. Not 100% sure. And then, of course, the security guards, they're doing his thing. And then they're showing Mikey just, walking, like getting far away from everything. And then they're saying here, Mikey literally turns his back on Charlie. Since the instant Charlie passed, he has no idea what's happening to Charlie. Apparently, he could care less.
Mikey McCoy, Charlie's chief of staff and friend, who spent the whole morning dutifully and loyally by Charlie's side, filming everything, abandoned Charlie in the very instant Charlie was killed. Was Charlie actually dead? Did he need help? Did Mikey rush to his aid or get his phone camera out? Anything? No, nothing. All of a sudden, Mikey McCoy didn't care about Charlie Kirk at all and just left him behind. What is going on?
Just about to have the mute minute there. I didn't watch this entire video. I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I thought it was just going to be Rob McCoy talking, but they did a good job of kind of pointing out exactly what Mikey McCoy did. The point here is not to blame Mikey for his actions, because when someone gets killed like that, I mean, we don't really know. Everybody's going to respond differently. I mean, is it possible that he just wanted to make a phone call to reach out to somebody? I think he said he called Erica, because he knew that he was told that if anything ever happened to Charlie, that he was to call Erica immediately. That was his story, I think. Whatever. We'll go with that. We'll go with that bullshit. But the point of this whole thing is that his dad, lying through his teeth, telling everybody that his son is the one that was directing traffic, had blood all over him. He was a hero that day. That's what he's telling everybody. That's how narcissistic these people are.
The Charlie.
And this was just the other day that this video came out, but and I played it yesterday. We're going to play it again. It's only 11 seconds. Candace has a theory that they're going to, or they're at least making it look like Erica Kirk now is a target. And they're going to make, and if something happens to Erica, Candace she's already said it. They're going to make it seem like because of what Candace is doing, that it's her fault that something happened to Erica, because people are starting to talk like that, including this guy. This guy's 61, Erica Kirk is 37. So why is he saying this?
The Charlie, Erica's going to be a widow for a few years before the Lord, takes her home, because life is a dash. Your children aren't going to be fatherless, because I'll be a father to the fatherless. The Charlie.
He will be a father to the fatherless. I tried so hard this morning to find the video of him talking to the pedophile pastor that he brought into the church that had already been in prison for sexually assaulting a younger girl or doing something. And the dude is so fucking creepy. I couldn't find the video. I think they took it off. You're saying that Erica's going to be taken home to heaven in a few years because life is a dash. And then you followed it up with, but don't worry, your kids won't be fatherless because I'm going to be a father to the fatherless. She's 37 and he's 61. I don't understand how the math works on that.
You know, Erica's going to be a widow for a few years before the Lord, takes her home, because life is a dash. Your children aren't going to be fatherless, because I'll be a father to the fatherless.
Very strange. Very, very strange. Love this video here. I think this is just a New Jersey native, I'm guessing. Oh, no. Chicago guy. I thought this was FIFA. Guy at Chicago Cubs game refuses to stand up during national anthem. And the guy behind him gets pissed. And you know what? That guy might go to jail for doing that or whatever, but I think he knew that going into it. Yeah, stand up, you little stupid little motherfucker. I can't stand that shit. So I gave him a Fodger McGall. Is that what Tommy calls it? He straightened him out. Gave him a smack. Is what it is. Grateful. Such a beautiful park, and those harmonies give me goose. Yes. And the dude gave him a chance, stand up. And it's not like he punched him or anything. He just smacked him in the back of the head. So, yeah, they are. Yeah, it was a great job. And everybody was standing up at that dude. And there's no reason for him not to be standing up. Can he not hear? Doesn't matter. Do you not speak English? Doesn't matter. Do you not believe in America? Get the fuck out of here. Why are you even at the park? You know what I mean? Why are you even there? You know what I mean? Is it because you're gay? I'm just guessing based on that shirt he had on. I have no idea. Anyway, we'll move on.
And tell me,
southbound Long Beach now making another westbound turn.
I'm going to skip that one.
about the actual, and tell me about the actual mechanics of this. This doesn't run on fuel. It's not oil and gas.
No, it's all electric. The idea is electrification of aviation. Finally, we're getting to that point. So it's in our case, we have 10 motors, 10 electric independent motors. You go vertical, you just taxi out of your garage with 8 vertical motors, and then you transition using 2 thrusters, pushers, and fly forward.
Wow, this is just incredible.
It's just an interesting video. Hold on, I accidentally opened up a... It's just, it's really interesting when she says the oil part. Whoops, keep doing that. This doesn't run on oil and gas.
Well, mechanics of this. This doesn't run on fuel. It's not oil and gas.
No.
Because the implications of air travel for daily travel, you know, that would just completely ruin the oil industry, the oil and gas industry. Was if we didn't have a need for gasoline anymore. If we, you know. I don't know where I'm going with that. I'm going to move on.
Wife Caroline is there too. So after.
So this is just really weird. And, you know, sorry guys, we got to do some more Charlie Kirk stuff. Imagine you're Charlie Kirk, you're bleeding out, and your security team, instead of giving you to the paramedics who are there and having them put you in an ambulance, they drive you to the hospital. Your security does. They can't even shut the door to the SUV because you're too tall the way they have you in there. And it's just wild to listen to this guy, man. He's so full of shit, Frank Turek.
Wife Caroline is there too. So after I'm on with just a minute with Stephanie, I FaceTime Spencer and Caroline. And so it's maybe the second question.
So this is what this guy's story is. The day that Charlie is killed, he's the security guy. He's one of the closest people to Charlie. He's to his right. Instead of doing what security should be doing, whatever that is, he's FaceTiming his wife, and then he FaceTimes his son and his daughter-in-law. All conveniently right before Charlie gets killed. I mean, that alone doesn't make any sense to me. But
that's when Charlie was shot, the second question. And so I'm just standing maybe 25 feet off his right elbow. He's under the tent. I'm just outside the tent. And that's when the shot rings out. And so I didn't know I said this, but Caroline told me later, the first thing you said was, no, 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 no. And so I'm looking, and I kind of duck because I think, oh, maybe there's more.
This motherfucker always gets to the point where when he tells the story, he acts like he's going to start crying, or he gets this really like temperament, hostile attitude, gaslighting attitude about him. You know what I mean? Like this guy is like, he's such easy work, but at the same time, he is a mass manipulator. He tries to be, but he's not good at his job.
There's more shots coming as I'm heading toward Charlie, and I just put the phone in my back pocket. And but his security team are on him already, so I just run with them to the SUV. And so I tell Megan, I said, I put the phone in my back pocket. I did not hang up. I didn't even think about hanging up. I'm concerned about Charlie at that point. And
hey, teacher, take care. Thank you for stopping by. Yes. Have a great day. So he admits he admits he wasn't doing his job. And then listen to him here. You know, now he's going to put his phone away without turning it off because he's not thinking about them. He's thinking about Charlie. How convenient. How convenient.
So they hear the entire ride, you know, to the hospital, everything. They can't see anything because it's in my back pocket. And I say to Megan, I didn't hang up until we got to the hotel. And what I meant to say was hospital. Right. Because the hotel wasn't for like another 8 or 9 hours. I can't remember how long it was, but the hotel was in Salt Lake City that we ultimately went to. We were at that hospital probably from about a little after 12:30 when we got there till like 6 o'clock-ish somewhere. We were there for, 5.5, 6 hours before we left the hotel. I mean, I said it again, left the hospital to go to the hotel. Right. Yeah. And I have this condition known as 64. Sometimes I forget things. Sometimes I put the wrong word in. In fact, when I was at AmFest, which was 3 months after the murder, you know, I had a platform speech. And I literally said in the speech, I said, and now people are running down, I'm speaking about Erica, are running down her widow. I said her widow. I should have said his widow, right? And it wasn't until I got off the platform, my wife said to me, did you know you said her widow? I said, what? I didn't mean to say her widow. I looked at the tape. I said her widow. What an idiot. You know, if you've never misspoken, are you perfect? You know, especially after a traumatic event. I mean, I do that all the time.
It's so irritating to listen to these people talk, man. But they know that they're cooked. Got to go have a meeting about cybersecurity. Oh, great. Yes, have fun with that. Well, thank you for stopping by. Grateful. Have a great day. I almost wish CK was still alive. I would at least make this incompetence make sense. It would at least make this incompetence make sense. Yes. Agree with him. What an idiot. There was an epidemic of, if I say this on camera, it is true. Yeah. You know, and Charlie Kirk was very well aware of what was going to happen too, you know.
I actually had to really think hard to find something.
Let's skip that. I'm gonna skip that one.
What you just said really nailed something for me, and I'm not going to be like Erica Kirk and mock our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, but the walls were closing in on him too. He went. He knew what was coming. He knew it could not be stopped. And the very same people that killed our Lord and Savior, same people. It's just, that is the last image I have of Charlie, is the walls were closing in. He had to do what he had to do. He knew it was coming.
Well, you're doing a lot of great work, and I want to be able to direct people to a place where they
when we take this country back, we better make them face the wall, because they lied and they deceived us. And it's the way I feel, truly. Like, these people are evil, they are demons. And if you like facing the wall and touching the wall, we're going to make sure that you do that. We're going to.
So a couple of these guys came out. They're like supposedly Turning Point insiders that used to work for Turning Point USA. And they're coming out and exposing some of the things that happened inside. I don't trust them at all. I feel like this is just another one of their tactics to try to get ahead of and steer the narrative in a certain direction. And now they're going to try to get ahead of everybody by trying to, you know, these guys are supposed to be the ones that really have all. I don't trust them. I can just tell by looking at them that they're full of shit. But we're just going to move on. See here.
You just say that again.
A bunch of pilots that have flown for decades think that the Earth is flat.
You just say that again.
I'm a member of the Flat Earth. You ready?
Ready?
I'm American Airlines pilot. I'm a member of the Flat Earth Society.
God bless you, brother. Wow, the truth. I love it. Mwah.
How long have you been a pilot for? 43 years. Wow. What shape is the planet? Flat.
You're the pilot?
Hi.
How long have you been flying for?
For 21 years, but maybe like 30 something.
I want to know, because they say the pilots know a lot. Do you think the Earth is flat or no?
I know it's flat.
You know it's flat?
The world is flat. Confirmed. Completely flat. And ice wall? What's beyond the ice wall?
You get to that and you go down, and then gravity works in a different direction. So when it rains, it doesn't fall on the floor.
Is there another world beyond the ice wall? Wow.
So that guy says that if you go beyond the ice wall,
You just say that again.
gravity works in the opposite direction. And you cannot go You can't. We're not allowed to go down there. You're only, we're not allowed to go within, I think, like 200 miles of the ice wall or some bullshit. I don't know what the number is, but there's certain places that they don't allow us to go. There's a place inside the Grand Canyon no one's allowed to go. You're not allowed to get close to that ice wall. It just kind of makes you wonder. Does it really matter if it's round or flat? I don't trust anything anymore. People dressed up. Yeah, that's 100% possible. Yeah, you can't trust anything anymore. And I always say that too. Does it even really matter if it's round or flat? It just makes you, like for police, for example, they call it the blue wall of silence. Like when something happens like this, that a real cop doesn't believe that a 30-06 killed Charlie Kirk. But you don't see him out there ranting and raving about it because they're not allowed to, Kind of fits into that category. Ice wall, what is that? You never heard of the ice wall? The ice wall is when, down in like Antarctica, you get to a point where it's an ice wall, and then you would have to get up on top of that to be on the polar cap, basically. Well, no one's allowed to go up there. There's one section that they have an observatory on, but there's world treaties where they don't allow, you have to go like on a military charter to even get close to Antarctica. Nobody can go there. And it's basically just an ice wall. There's parts of it, you have to look it up. I never really like dug into that theory too much because, who fucking knows at that point, you know what I mean? But it is very interesting about the things that have happened down in Antarctica and the global treaties that everybody just abides by, It's interesting, like, for example, Iran and the conflict that's going on there. No one's abiding by their agreements. But yet when it comes to Antarctica and certain places, everybody falls in line. Why is that? Is it where aliens live? It could be, I know there's like a lot of, they did a lot of research down there during World War II. Like the Nazis were down there. There's that story of that one dude, Shackleton, and how his crew froze to death down there. They got iced in, which that would really suck, There's a story of people missing that they went on an expedition and people never came back. And they left people at certain points so that in case they came back, and then they disappeared without a trace. There's like all kinds of stuff. There's the story of some dude said he did see a fucking alien down there. There's the story of that dude that just got killed. Oliver, the dude with the funny haircut? Oliver Twist or whatever the fuck his name was. Something Oliver. He just did a documentary where that was going to come out about he was down in Antarctica and he talked about the ice wall. What was that guy's name? Oliver Tree. Let's see if I can just type in ice wall, see if it comes up.
The favorite of many.
Oh yeah, this one might beat yesterday's because I
just got word that my album is no longer coming out. Love You Madly, Hate You Badly is officially canceled, and I'm parting.
Name me a place that I need to go to.
I just got word.
Do kids ever make fun of you at school?
And while this may contradict everything that you've ever learned in public schools, all of your science teachers, what they told you about Antarctica, it was caught on film. And it was released to the public. Released to the public in a 1948 documentary called The Secret Land. 1948. What an interesting year. The film was backed by the United States Navy and documented firsthand by the Byrd expedition to Antarctica. It wasn't until years later that this information was memory hold. But it still exists. And in this video clip, you can see it for yourself. You can hear the narrator describe the warm water Antarctic oasis that's full of coal and other vital minerals. Watch.
Bunger leans forward in amazement. His eyes have caught a sudden and unbelievable change in scenery. The universal white has turned to chocolate brown, dotted with blue. A cameraman goes into action. 300 square miles of land without snow. Land that might be in New Mexico or Arizona. Pictures alone will prove Bunger has discovered a warm oasis in the shadow of the pole. It is for such supreme moments as this that men brave the hardships of exploration. The astounding, undreamed of fact is that they are over a chain of warm water lakes, whose shores, except for small patches, are free of ice and snow.
I've never seen that before. The sound is killing me.
Understand what y'all looking at, man. It's the ice wall in Antarctica. And man, bro, you see that man right there? You see how small he is? You see how tiny he is compared to this fucking wall, man, that's up a fucking few hundred feet up high. And look how far down it stretch. Look how far down that is, man. That shit stretch on for fucking miles. And that's not even the water that's not even the bottom. It goes down a few thousand more motherfucking feet. Look how high up that shit is, man. That shit is higher than the highest fucking tower in the fucking world. Look how high that shit is, man. Look how thick that shit is. Look how far down it go. Look how high up that shit is, man.
The fact that he's there right next to it, I mean, obviously he's on some type of an expedition ship, but they're like right up on the ice wall. I didn't even know you could get that close to it. So, I mean, I don't know what I'm talking about all the way when it comes to that, but and you know, there was also a dude that was on Joe Rogan that claims that he went to the center of the South Pole, like to the actual very bottom of the earth by himself on like a 43-day expedition. I never believed that story, but Oliver Tree, is that even a real name? Don't you remember that story, Sweet Tea, about Oliver Tree? You should fly over like a drone. There's a book about the Shackleton expedition. It is in a diary form. It's a little tedious, but you read where he knew he was going to die. It's pretty, yeah. There was a dude that was reading it at the casino when I worked there years ago. He would tell me about it every night. It just sounds like a made-up name. Oh, I'm sure it is a made-up name, you know, like a stage name. And now, coming to the stage, Oliver Tree at the Gay Stripper Club. Sweetie, I wish you could excuse that. My brain isn't fully formed. My brain ain't fully formed this morning for sure. But yeah, the ice, it's a whole thing.
Let's talk about some of the most wackadoo conspiracy theories out there.
Yeah. And it could be, you know. Here's the thing about Antarctica for me, you know, it really is an interesting, you know, place if you think about it. Even take out any conspiracy theory, you know, and that dude's right, you know, in any iceberg, because it's like one big iceberg, that the ice wall. And it goes down thousands of feet. That's just one big floating chunk of ice, basically, you know. What's underneath of there, you know? I'm sure like there's been, you know, military expeditions and submarines underneath the polar caps. You know, it's some of the least talked about places on the planet. And I know that the seas between like Argentina, Chile, and Antarctica are the most violent seas in the world. You know, never ending 100-mile-an-hour winds and just, you know, The temperatures are just insane. Same here, Sweet Tea. But his name doesn't give me confidence. Now, I totally agree. The movie 212 is a good one. They show the crack in the ice wall by scientists. Interesting. Yeah. It's all very.
Say that again. This.
I'm a member of the Flat Earth. You ready?
Ready?
I'm American Aeronautics.
Was a
I'm a
shocking-
member of the Flat Earth Society.
God bless you, brother. Wow, the truth. I love it.
Sorry, these videos.
Moment caught on camera. Video obtained by our NBC.
This one, I'm not going to show the video. This dude gets shot. And I think he lived. But he is doing a chainsaw in his yard. And his neighbor shoots him from the window and drops him in Minneapolis. And the police are not going to go arrest the guy because it's too dangerous for them to arrest him because the guy's too violent. I have to play it. I'm not going to play the shooting part. Let me get past that.
Tory told NBC affiliate Kara Levin he's also recovering from broken ribs and a concussion. Adding, the last 11 months since he and his wife moved in, they've been living a nightmare next door to John Shawshack. Court documents show the victim called police 19 times prior to the shooting for incidents including harassment, hate speech, and verbal threats. It also says Shawshack suffers from mental illness. Shawshack has been charged with attempted murder, but he is not in jail. Police allowing him to stay in his home because they say he's a threat to himself and others.
The likelihood of an armed, violent confrontation where we may have to use deadly force with the suspect in this case is high.
That excuse sparking community outrage.
So he's being charged with attempted murder, but they're not going to go arrest him. They're going to leave him alone for now because the threat of a violent confrontation is extremely high. So let's just leave him in the house next door to the people that he shot. So the Popo get to do nothing because they are scared. This is a show on Netflix about worst neighbors. Sounds like this guy, there is a show on it. Sounds like this guy qualifies. It's just unbelievable.
We have to take violent criminals off the street. So I'm not a police officer. I don't know how that gets done, but I know it needs to get done.
Police say Shawshack rarely leaves his home, and the department has not set an arrest date.
We are not going to bust the door down, guns blazing, and get into a deadly force situation, but we will ensure the community will be safe.
Mattori says he feels the Minneapolis Police Department failed to protect his family by not arresting his neighbor when they needed them most.
You know, it's my first time watching this video all the way through. The more I watch it, the more that I think that this is like it's a commercial that we're not privy to. Like, I want to know how they can guarantee the safety of the community, because it kind of seems like maybe it's an excuse to deploy a new AI technique. Do they have like an AI robot watchdog outside of the house? You know what I mean? It sounds like it's just another artificial story in order to deploy some new tactic. Time will tell. I think we're going to see a lot of changes coming. I just seen something too where Walmart and Home Depot are starting to go Arabic, where, you know how you'll have like the Spanish translation on a lot of stuff. Now it's a lot of Arabic translation. And it's funny that they say that because, you know, a lot of those stories are like Michigan and all that. But here in Washington, I was just at Walmart yesterday and I had noticed this before. There's this very large woman that is full on, it's a black lady who's full on Muslim. And I'm talking full on Muslim. She's got all the whole garb on. Well, the story, I might have bookmarked it. Walmart, not only does it have translation, they have a whole wall dedicated to Sharia, whatever, Muslim dressing, which whatever, I could care less, but it's just, it is what it is. So let me see if I can find that.
What's wrong with this picture? I'm at Home Depot in Michigan.
And you can see the Arabic writing below appliance and paint and on all of them.
I guess that spells bath.
That's gonna be. I don't know where I seen the Walmart one.
You go down here and check what other Arabic.
I guess
For anyone in adding Arabic, so this is not.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where I seen the other one. The other one I seen was it actually showed the wall.
Again.
Sorry, guys. It actually showed the wall in Walmart with all the Arabic. I sound like an old racist when I talk about that subject, but come on. Why do we have to have this crap where we cater to these groups? Who gets to decide this stuff? It's a great question. You know, who does get to decide it? And where are all these people coming from? You know, it's just, it really is replacement migration, mass migration. It's crazy, crazy town. All right, guys, I got to get going. But you're not a racist, Patty. We all feel the same way. You know, it's like they have races for a reason. They have countries and borders for a reason. You know, if we're just gonna do this, then let's not have any borders at all and quit making us pay taxes. Why should we have to pay a city tax, a county tax, a state tax, a U.S. tax? You know, I mean, fuck that shit. But yeah, I think we all agree on that. All right, you guys have a great day. I got to get going. Heading to the admin building here. Probably get there about 10. We will see you all over at Theendu's probably.